And we're on the phone with Timothy Smith, attorney for Nicole Default. How are you doing, Mr. Smith?
Good, sir. Good. Good morning.
You appeared in court with Ms. Default, and she has allegations of inappropriate contact with now 5 students. You mentioned now she pleaded not guilty. You mentioned in, I think, other comments in the paper, concerns about copycats, or that there may be some people claiming things that aren't accurate because of all the notoriety. What's your thought on sort of the growing number of alleged victims?
Well, I don't know if there's truth or veracity. I have no independent knowledge as to truth or veracity of these additional complaints.
Right.
I can tell you that it's well accepted precedent in science that there's a propensity for that type of situation in a high-profile case such as this.
Right.
History will tell you that those types of dynamics have occurred in the past, and so I'm just naturally concerned about them. I haven't seen the evidence underlying the now 5 sets of complaints against my client at all. I don't know anything about the basis for the nature of the additional allegations, or even the 3 existing ones. I think what I quoted to the Ledger was, I have a concern about that sort of a thing in a high-profile case such as this one, and that's what I expressed. I have no independent knowledge, one way or the other at this point in time, not being privy to the evidence, if that is the case here. But given the fact that I represent Ms. Default, it's something that we're monitoring, we're watching, we're aware of, and we're concerned about.
Now, she'd been a teacher at Columbia for 9 years. As far as we can tell, no previous complaints of any kind related to this type of behavior. And she pleads not guilty. Now, is she denying any kind of contact with these students, or could there have been contact that was misinterpreted? What is sort of the thought of her situation?
I would not be privy to speak of what she told me if I was aware of that information.
Understandable.
And I'm not. This case is very new to me.
Understandable.
First appearance yesterday. I think she was arrested just prior to that. We're now conducting our own investigation in an effort to find out what did happen. So I can't cogently answer that question for you, sir.
And then the status, you're her attorney. You're not a public defender?
No.
You're hired as her private attorney?
Yes, sir.
Understandable. And then what is the thought going forward in terms of when you have allegations like this? Is it just pro forma to plead not guilty, or is there reason to believe that there is some effort to unfairly accuse her? There's even rumor in the community, and we don't report rumors, but we can ask that there was some kind of effort to blackmail her, or maybe people went to her and said, look, if you don't do X, Y, Z for me, whether it's grades or something, we're going to make these accusations. Again, that's a rumor that's about. Is there anything in that regard that could be involving this?
No.
That none of it is that there's a blackmail element or any kind of threats against her to do something, or accusations will be made?
First of all, we don't concern ourselves whatsoever with rumors.
Right, I understand. But when you hear things, you want to see if you can find out whether something's true or not, that's all.
Listen, obviously, now that you've informed me of that, that's something that we're going to investigate.
I don't know. That's what I'm hearing. That doesn't mean it's true, but there's a lot of things floating around. There's also claims that there are a lot of other victims. Again, as you know, that kind of rumor is not a surprise when there are multiple allegations.
Right. I mean, it's not. Rumors will swirl.
Yeah.
We're concerned with the evidence, and the way the process works is at some point in time, we're entitled to see the state's discovery. And then at that point in time, once we see that, we're in a position to conduct our own reciprocal investigation. But we're nowhere near that stage of events yet. So the facts have really not played themselves out at this early juncture, sure. I know what she's accused of. Know that they're mere allegations. I know that she's presumed innocent of them.
Right.
I know that since I'm her attorney, I'm going to represent her to the fullest extent of my ability. These are very significant charges. I know the nature of the complaint. The 3 complaints, the initial 3 sets of complaints, because I viewed them, the additional 2 alleged victims and the complaints associated with those. I haven't even seen them yet. So this is very, very, very early on in the process. And at this point, we're concerned with issues such as bail. We're going to need to address the bail and what her status is going to be while we are mounting her defense. That's what we're concerned about now.
No, she was she was given a $500,000 bail. Did that seem excessive for a first offender who has apparently a very good reputation? Would that seem a high bail?
I think it is, but you have multiple alleged victims, and you have first-degree charges, and I think that the bail was set just based upon that, and without looking at the other underlying facts and circumstances, like my client's background, which you just spoke of. All of that is factored into a bail determination, and we're going to bring it to the attention of the court. I think there's a bail motion scheduled for this Friday. And hopefully the court will revisit that. But also, we have the additional issue of these further charges being brought, so that's going to factor in as well.
And we've also heard about the existence of some kind of video evidence, apparently. Are you familiar with that?
I was asked that question from somebody at the Associated Press yesterday, and I don't have an answer to that.
Okay.
I don't have an answer. I don't have a video. I haven't seen a video, and other than what's being reported to me by the press at this point in time, I have no knowledge of a video.
So, but basically, you first took over the case on Friday.
Yes.
Okay. So obviously you've been on it for about a day, if even that.
Yeah. I think Thursday or Friday.
Yeah.
Thursday or Friday.
And then the other question is, what is her status with the school district? Now, is she suspended, fired, on leave, and does she still get paid as per the contract and tenure policies?
Well, she's a tenured teacher, so
right.
I believe at this point in time she's suspended with pay at this precise
She's suspended with pay. Okay, then that's not any comment on anything. That's not a surprise that would be the procedure for.
No, that's basically the law.
Yeah, that's. I think most people would not be surprised by that, but we just wanted to make sure. And then now so if your bail hearing is Friday, then she basically remains in the Essex County Correctional Facility?
Until then.
Yeah.
Yes, at least until then. Yeah.
And she has 2 children who are with relatives?
I believe so.
Because now, and her husband, he is also incarcerated, we had heard?
I have no.
Okay, I don't want to.
No knowledge of that.
One would wonder why he doesn't have custody of them, if she is not able to take care of them.
Yeah, one would wonder, but I wonder too. I don't know.
Okay, understandable. And how would you describe her mood? Is she taking it okay? Is she under any suicidal watch or that kind of thing, or what would you describe her? I can't. I can't reveal. Listen, she's distraught. Yeah.
Because anybody would be. She's not a repeat criminal. She's not someone who is used to this process. Being arrested and incarcerated, on a moment's notice is going to be very traumatic for anybody. So obviously it's been traumatic for her, and she's distraught, as I think anybody would be.
Sure. And she was arrested at her home on Tuesday?
I believe so.
Yeah. Do you think there was any mishandling of her arrest by law enforcement in any way, the way she was arrested or processed or anything, or was it routine?
I haven't heard anything about that.
And neither of you. Just like to make sure. Okay, sir. Well, if there's anything else you want to add about the approach or the process, otherwise,
I think we've covered everything.
Excellent, sir. Well, thank you very much, and we'll be in touch.
Thank you, sir.